Dr. Califf, parents and caregivers across the country rely on the FDA and the handful of dominant formula manufacturers to make sure that formula that they feed their babies meets the highest standard of safety and nutrition. But the companies and FDA let them down. I am ready and willing to continue working with you and absolutely anyone to get this right and make sure we never are in this situation again. But I want to be clear about where we are in the current moment. Babies have gotten sick. 2 have died after drinking formula from Abbott Nutrition Michigan facility, and it took months. In fact, you are telling us today it took 6 months for FDA to investigate. During that time, Abbott continued to produce formula at the Michigan plant. And when FDA finally completed an on-site inspection, months after the first baby became ill, it found evidence of the Chronobacter bacteria on surfaces where formula was being produced and a history of Chronobacter in finished baby formula products. That is incredibly alarming. So it makes sense the plant was shut down as Abbott and FDA tried to figure out why babies were getting sick, and as your inspectors uncovered substantial long-term problems at the facility. What doesn't make sense, what I can't for the life of me figure out, is why it took so long to investigate in the first place. Why did so much time pass before the FDA took serious action to investigate this contamination in baby formula?
Well, Senator Murray, I appreciate the question, and I think we all have a great degree of sorrow over the difficulties that you're describing. Many people at FDA are not sleeping at night. They're working weekends and trying to get this corrected. There's no question it's just not a good
Well, I'm asking the question, why did it take so much time?
Yes. So I want to parse one issue with you. I have many more disagreements with Senator Burr about some things that were said. But from the very first case, there was investigation going on. It didn't take 6 months to start the investigation. That very first case, you have to collect samples.
No, I'm asking why it took 6 months to take serious action.
Because the answer to that question is, as in our document, there are systemic issues at FDA and in our interactions with the industry and our authorities that need to be corrected. It's clearly laid out in the document.
Do you have a plan to do that?
Yes.
And when can we see it?
When can you see the plan?
To correct these problems, yes.
We have a plan, but a complete plan written out we'll have to get to you as soon as we can. I can't give you an exact date right now.
Well, okay. Has Abbott told you why it kept producing formula when it knew it might be dangerous for babies?
They have not, and I'll remind you that we ended up in legal proceedings with Abbott. We could not get control of the quality in the plant without going through a consent decree process, which has limited our ability to discuss it because it's a serious legal proceeding, as you know. What I do know is that they now have good plans underway to correct it. They were overseeing every step of the way.
For parents of preemies like Mac, my constituent in Richland, what is the clear message from FDA and HHS on how and where he is going to get NeuroSure or an equivalent formula for preemies?
For any infant requiring specialty formula, we have a committee and a whole host of pediatricians and specialists who are constantly in contact. The physician involved should be able to contact through the specialty societies access to the needed formula.
Well, what I'm asking is exactly what should parents know. I want to be able to say to Mac that you, Secretary Becerra, are telling him directly where he can go to get the formula. He and many other parents.
A parent needing a specialty formula should start with a pediatrician. If the pediatrician is not in the loop, one should go to the HHS website and call HHS, and we will intervene directly to help out. There's a committee in place to do that for each individual infant.
Well, look, when this hearing is over, I expect you and the Secretary to do everything possible to make it very clear to parents like Mac across the country what they should know to be able to get going to be able to do to keep their babies out of the hospital. Very clear, direct to parents across this country.
I understand.